Before he became the Dragon Emperor, Qin Shi Huang was basically a glorified prisoner. Born in enemy territory, his credit score was 0, and his survival rate was lower than a clumsy ninja. But luck was on his side. His dad's manager, a shady merchant named Lu Buwei, smuggled him back to Qin. It was the ultimate heist, but instead of gold, they stole a future tyrant. At 13, he became king. But let's be real, he was just a puppet. The guy pulling the strings, Lu Buwei, basically the stepdad from hell who controlled the treasury and the army. Things got weird when his mom brought home a new boyfriend. Enter Lao Ai, a fake eunuch with, let's just say, special talents involving a wooden wheel. Don't Google it. This guy got cocky. He started throwing parties, calling himself the king's stepfather, and planned a coup. Big mistake. You don't mess with a teenager going through a goth phase. Lao Ai actually tried to stage a coup. He gathered a bunch of random dudes, armed them with kitchen utensils, and stormed the palace. It was less Game of Thrones and more drunk bar fight. Qin Shi Huang wasn't impressed. He unleashed the actual army. It was a massacre. The rebels were crushed faster than a bug on a windshield. As for Lao Ai, he got the 5-horse split. Historically, it's gruesome. To keep this video family friendly, let's just say he was stretched to his limit and permanently banned from the server. Then there was Lu Buwei, the puppet master. Qin couldn't execute his maybe dad, so he bullied him into exile. Lu Buwei got so paranoid, he eventually drank a cocktail of forever sleep juice. At 22, the tutorial was finally over. The moms, the stepdads, the fake dads, all gone. Now there was only one goal left: catch 'em all. The 6 kingdoms didn't stand a chance. Qin Shi Huang looked at the map of China and didn't see enemies. He saw a buffet. It was time to eat. His strategy: befriend the far guys, smack the near guys. He was the ultimate pay-to-win player. He bribed the distant states to stay chill, while he absolutely destroyed his neighbors. Han and Zhao fell faster than my internet connection during a storm. But the Prince of Yan wasn't having it. He sent an assassin, Jing Ke, with a map. Classic Trojan horse trick. Here's a gift. Psych, it's a knife. What followed was the most embarrassing moment in assassination history. They ran around a pillar like a Scooby-Doo sketch. The guards useless. They forgot their scripts or something. Finally, a doctor threw his medicine bag at the assassin. Yes, a bag. That distraction gave Qin enough time to remember he had a sword. Game over, Jing Ke. Next up, wait. Qin didn't even bother climbing the wall. They just redirected a river and turned the city into a swimming pool. 10 out of 10 hydro engineering. 0 out of 10 for the residents. Chu was the final boss, a tough cookie, so Qin requested 600,000 troops. That's not an army, that's a small country. He basically Zerg rushed them until the server crashed. Then Qi, the last kingdom, they saw what happened to everyone else and said nope. They literally left the door unlocked and surrendered. Least dramatic finale ever. Boom, map completed. 100% synchronization. He renamed himself Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor. He didn't just win the game, he bought the developer studio. But looking at his new empire, he noticed something annoying. Everyone used different money, wrote differently, and had different sized wheel. His OCD was about to go nuclear. Imagine trying to buy a taco, but the cashier only accepts crypto and you only have monopoly money. That was China. Knife coins, spade coins, it was a financial nightmare. Qin Shi Huang had enough. He declared a mandatory system update. No more opt-outs. He was about to standardize everything, and I mean everything. First, the money. He melted down the knives and shovels and created the ban liang, round coin, square hole. It was the first universal currency. Basically the Bitcoin of 221 BC. Next, language. Different states use different characters for the same words. Confusing, right? Qin enforced the small seal script. Well, if you use the old font, jail. Imagine going to prison for using Comic Sans. He also fixed the weights and measures. No more cheating at the market with light weights. A pound was a pound. Qin was the original consumer protection agency, but with more violence. Then there was the traffic problem. Dirt roads had ruts. If your wagon was too wide, crack. Your axle snapped. It was like trying to shove a UK plug into a US socket. So he standardized the axles. All carts must be 6 feet wide. Suddenly traffic flowed. He built the Qin Direct Road, basically the Autobahn of ancient China. To keep this machine running, he used legalism, strict laws, harsh punishments. You litter, hand chopped. You're late for work, let's just say you get fired from life. Life was good. The empire was running like a Swiss watch, but then some rowdy neighbors from the north, the Xiongnu tribes, started throwing rocks at his lawn. Qin looked at the border and thought, you know what we need? A fence. But like, a really, really big fence. It was time for the ultimate Minecraft project. He started the most expensive construction project in history, the Great Wall. Basically, he forced millions of people to play Minecraft in survival mode, but with no response. The secret ingredient, sticky rice. Yes, soup. They mixed rice soup into the mortar. It was so strong that even modern bulldozers have trouble scratching it. Delicious and indestructible. The work conditions were terrible. Legend has it, a woman named Meng Jiangnu cried so hard her tears collapsed a section of the wall. That's some serious hydration power. Many workers died and were allegedly buried inside the wall. It's the world's longest cemetery. Creepy? Yes. Worst HR department in history? Absolutely. Did it work? Well, it annoyed the nomads enough to make them go away. For a while, it was the ultimate do not disturb sign carved in stone. But back home, the intellectuals were complaining. The old days were better. Why no feudalism? Basically, they were the original internet trolls, and Qin was reading the comment section. Qin didn't like trolls, so he ordered a hard reset. Burn the books, history, poetry, philosophy. Troll alt delete. If it wasn't about farming or medicine, it was firewood. And the people who complained, he didn't just block them, he buried them alive. 460 scholars got the ultimate band hammer. It was the first recorded instance of cancel culture going way too far. He kept the useful stuff though, agriculture, medicine, and divination, because you still need to eat, heal, and check your horoscope while you're oppressing people. He had total control. The walls, the words, the people. But one morning he looked in the mirror and saw his biggest enemy yet, a gray hair. The emperor was scared of dying. Qin Shi Huang conquered the world, but he couldn't conquer his own birthday. He hit a midlife crisis hard. But instead of buying a sports car, he decided to buy Immortality. Enter Xu Fu, the greatest snake oil salesman in history. He told the emperor, hey, there's a magic island with immortals. I can get you the elixir of life. Xu Fu said, but the ticket is pricey. He asked for gold, a giant ship, and 3,000 kids. Why? Who knows? Qin said, shut up and take my money. Xu Fu sailed away and never came back. When asked why he hadn't found the elixir yet, Xu Fu made up a lame excuse. A giant fish blocked the way. Qin, being Qin, personally went to the beach to shoot a fish. And he did. He killed a shark or a whale with a crossbow. Problem solved? Nope. Still no magic potion. He was getting desperate. Finally, the doctors gave him spirit medicine. It was mercury. Yes, the liquid metal. He drank it like a protein shake, believing it would make him immortal. Spoiler, it did not. Surprise, drinking toxic heavy metals kills you. He died on a road trip, far from home. But his advisors Li Si and Zhao Gao didn't want to panic, so they kept it a secret. But corpses have a slight problem. They smell. In the summer heat, the emperor started to funk. The solution? They covered his carriage with a ton of rotting salted fish to mask the smell. The most powerful man in history, who built the Great Wall and conquered 6 nations, returned to his capital hidden under a pile of stinky seafood. Fate really has a twisted sense of humor. His empire collapsed 3 years later, but he left behind an army of 8,000 clay soldiers to guard his tomb, and honestly, seeing how crazy his life was, he probably needs the protection.